The great resignation, the big quit. Even if you're not one of the millions of Americans who've left your job in recent months, chances are you're being impacted by those who have.
As we continue our deep dive into the local labor crisis, our Abby Larico shows us how technology and time could be our way out.
When you complete that online order, check out what happens next.
We're the last point of the product before it reaches the end user.
Fulfillment centers like TAGG Logistics in Hazelwood process orders and ship companies' products to stores and front doors. What impact does it have to be short-staffed in a place like this?
Well, it's significant, right? I mean, we're not able to process orders, we're not able to ship. Clients get concerned because they count on us to be able to deliver their product.
And then I might not be getting my product.
And the end user who ordered that product is not getting it.
The pandemic boosted e-commerce by 20% nationwide. But when it comes to workers to fulfill those orders,
we were down, I would say, probably 22% of our average head count.
Receiving a product on time, scoring a table, scheduling an appointment, getting the job done. It's all more complicated with fewer people doing the jobs.
We're all being affected by what's happened over the last 18 months. For employers, it's been harder for them to find workers as people are rethinking what they want to do.
Stephen Fazzari is a Washington University economist who says this should eventually mean more equal pay.
If this was happening slowly over 10 years, we probably wouldn't be talking about it, but happening over just several months, it really is more disruptive.
TAGG St. Louis General Manager Chip Holden says they've increased pay to compete with other jobs and, for a while, compete with increased unemployment benefits.
We have to be right in the market that we serve, and I think we're there, but we have to monitor that constantly.
They're also spending more to not hire. Just 2 weeks ago, TAGG onboarded these new self-driving carts.
Historically, you would hear the concern that, through automation, we're going to reduce and eliminate jobs, but it's the opposite for us. If you can't source the people you need to do that work, this is how you get it done.
Like this robo-cart that warehouse workers call Chuck, Professor Fazzari says eventually the economy will right itself and get back up to speed.
I don't want to minimize how disruptive this has been. It's been historic. But I think that the system is sufficiently flexible that if we give it enough time to adjust, the result will be positive over the long run.
But we're just going to have to be patient.
I'm optimistic that things will look better 6 months from now, and even better a year from now, and maybe 2 years from now. It'll be in the rearview mirror.
But Holden says that's not a perspective they can afford to take right now, especially with patience in short supply.
As we've gone through this labor shortage issue, there's a general level of understanding because everybody's gone through it. But at some point in time, that becomes an old excuse. They're looking for us to create a solution. And so that's really what we've been focusing on.
Abby Larico, 5 on your side.
Between supply chain disruptions and ongoing staff shortages, experts recommend building in the extra time when you're placing an order for everything from specialty gifts to household supplies. And that is going to be especially important as we start entering this holiday shopping season. Tomorrow night at 10, where are all the workers and how do we get them back on the job? For a look at stories and information we've collected on the local labor crisis, text the word LABOR to 314-425-5355.